You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Today's guest is CEO of TGM Group and Trustee of the Estate of James Campbell, Dick Gushman.
What kind of advice could you give people in business that maybe have not gotten involved with community activities yet?
A couple of thoughts on that, I think, Evan. First, if you expect communities to take care of themselves, you're a fool. And so if you're making long-term commitments to your business here, it's just a naturally intelligent thing to do, in my view, to give back. The community service has an absolute connection to your business outcomes long-term. And if you don't like what's happening where you're doing business, where you're living, and how your children are being educated and things, you have two choices. You can either sit down and shut up, or you can stand up and help out. And so I would encourage particularly people who are in business leadership situations to bring their leadership skills to the community needs, because leadership is not an endless a commodity in endless supply. There's only a limited amount of it. So I think it's important to share it. If you have some of it, it's real important to take care of the communities in which you live.
What about for the 30 and 40-year-olds who are really trying to build their career? They have a family, or they're just starting a family. Can you help to encourage us to get involved in the community and build our career at the same time, so that we can become that leadership in the businesses?
Yeah, I think that volunteering actively will put you in first-person contact with folks you might not otherwise get to see on your path through your life. And so you'll get a chance to interact with perhaps other leadership folks at a different time in their lives and a different point in their careers. And I think they'll find that that's tremendously valuable to them, because they see it in a non-threatening environment. You're there with a common expectation, which is to try to improve the community for everybody, not just for a singular profit purpose.
I guess one of the biggest questions is, how do you actually get started? You know, like, how did you get started? What was the first community organization that you got involved with?
Boy, it's been so long, I'm not even sure I remember which one was the first one. Perhaps it was United Way. Way back when I volunteered, but the easiest way to start is to hold up your hand, and somebody will find you, or just call something that you're interested in. You know, life is great when you pursue passion, and if you're passionate about something that is or isn't working well, go see them and tell them that you'd be happy to help, and you'll be amazed how delighted they'll be when you do that.
And I guess if you can't spend time, or you think you can't spend time, you can always give some money, right?
Yeah, money's a lot easier to find sometimes, actually, than passionate people who want to make a difference. There's no substitute for that.
What last bit of advice could you give people out there to close up the show?
Well, I think that on the business side, which may not be completely independent of what I would suggest on the community service side, Evan. On the business side, you got to follow your heart, and you got to do what it is that inspires you. And for those who want to be entrepreneurial, in and outside of larger organizations or entirely on your own, you have to be willing to lose, because sometimes that's the ultimate risk. And with respect to the community, if you don't give back, then you're probably shortchanging the environment that you live in, and so you have to find a balance point amongst your business, your family, and the community.
Thanks for joining us today on Greater Good Radio. For more information or a transcript of today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio Hawaii.